Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. This time we will be using the Disciple shotgun, a shotgun I recently found. It is a very lightweight shotgun. It fires rapidly, it has about 4 shots in the chamber, and its unique aspect is it will stagger opponents even when they are shielded. So quite useful, especially when you are playing on Insanity as I do. So let's try this out. Let's see what sort of spread it has. Starting with short range from the hip. So as you can see, this weapon leaves an impact decal similar to the Viper sniper rifle, and quite accurate at short range. Let's try very short range from the hip. Again, accurate enough that we can't even make out the pellets. And as you might have just heard, though I was talking, it actually occasionally has a very cool sounding reload effect, essentially like a ghost just whispering. Alright, so let us continue to mid-range. I'm seeing quite a bit of spread. This weapon also has fairly minimal recoil, so at mid-range you should probably be aiming for center mass like most shotguns. Let's try mid to long. Cycling between center mass and headshots, as I always do. And it seems like you might actually still be able to get center mass at mid to long, so you might not be out of its effective range yet. Let's try long range. Oh, my keyboard's screwing up. There we go. Ghosting. So, long range from the hip with the Disciple shotgun. That was the sound effect, if you just heard. And again, though we did get a couple of headshots, it's more luck than anything. This weapon has particularly large pellets, which help to affect its effective range. So while I probably wouldn't recommend using the weapon at mid to long range or long range, you still certainly could try, and you certainly could still go for center mass shots, and even trying headshots if you get lucky. Let's see if aiming down the sights makes any difference. So this is very short range with the Disciple shotgun. And it doesn't seem to make a difference. Let's see. If there's a difference, I can't see it really. So let's move on to short range. Aiming down the sights. Now at short range, I am seeing a noticeable difference. Down the sights versus from the hip. I think that we do have a tighter grouping here. It's not a huge difference, but I think there is a difference. Let's try mid-range, see if there's a difference. Versus from the hip. This is hard to tell. It's hard to count pellets. Maybe. There might be a difference. Maybe a bit of a tighter grouping. I would say that there is, overall. Though, again, it could have just been that the pellets out here, near the edge of the target, just missed completely, whereas they hit on this target. So, kind of hard to tell. Let's try mid to long range. And this time we'll just be firing down the sights. We actually got a number of center mass shots and a headshot. Let us actually compare to the hip at this range. It actually seemed to make a tremendous difference, again, unless this was just luck. Let's try yet one more down the sights, get a little bit of a larger sample size. Seems to be fairly comparable. Still a number of headshots, number of center mass shots. and it definitely seems to make quite the difference compared to from the hip. So let's try at long range. Alright, so let us compare down the sights to from the hip. And we still did get a number of center mass shots and a headshot at long range, though as you can see this was more luck than anything, as our results were quite a bit worse with the right hand target, assuming my aim was about the same, but there did seem to be quite the improvement over from the hip. So this seems to be yet another shotgun similar to the Grawl Spike Thrower and perhaps some of the other ones that we'll see demonstrated later, that is more accurate when fired down the sights. It might not be a huge difference, but there does seem to be a bit of a difference, a slight difference in our results. And the effective range of this weapon seems to be effective at very short range, even mid-range, and then beyond that it can still hit, but it's nowhere near as accurate and it's more of a gamble. Certainly by those ranges you should probably be aiming for center mass, though I did still get headshots and fairly reliably. So that will be up to your experimentation, and you'll see what works for you and for your particular aim. But again, interesting weapon, very cool impact decal, very cool sound effect. This is about as fast as it can fire. So quite close to the Scimitar shotgun, and it will stagger opponents when it hits their shields, and I have a feeling that it's probably more effective against shields and barriers than other shotguns. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and have a good one.